Hey gang, today we're going to talk about vibrato, okay? The word vibrato comes from vibration, or actually it's probably the other way around. Vibration, our word vibration comes from the word vibrato. Now what we're doing, and at the top of your sheet here it says a pulsating technique made by wobbling the string under the finger to add expression. Pitch can vary slightly and the speed of vibration can also be manipulated. So, we're having this lesson because some of my advanced students were watching me kind of close the other day and said, "What is that you're doing?" I actually do this a lot, and I do it for a couple of reasons, mostly to add expression to what I'm playing, but the other thing that it does is it helps my note sustain a little bit longer than it normally would. So the very top line I gave you, I've given you 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3 on the tablature, and above each one of those is the little sign for add vibrato to these notes, okay? So let's start on that 3, the middle string. I found that this is one of the easiest ones to get your vibrato going on, so that's why we're starting on this middle string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this note for you without any vibrato at all. And let's give this a good listen. Okay. All right, now I'm going to add the vibrato and listen to the difference. Okay, it's gonna kind of carry on a little bit longer than it would when I just struck it without any vibrato. Okay, what is this technique? How do we do it? If you look this up online or you YouTube it, you're going to see mostly violinists talking about vibrato. Now, they talk about vibrato a little differently than what we're going to talk about vibrato because violins are not fretted instruments, all right? When we put our finger down, like say on the 3rd fret, middle string, that string rests on that 3rd fret, and that's the end. That's where that's the pitch that we get, okay? Violins don't have frets, so if they move their finger up and down the neck just the slightest little bit, it will change the pitch, okay? The way we're going to hear the pitch change, and I mean in a very small amount, is that we are, when we do the vibrato, we are essentially up against that fret. We are very subtly tightening and loosening that string, and that brings that pitch up and down a little bit, okay? Now, the other thing about easy for you to say, vibrato, is that we want to add some vibration, extra vibration behind the nut or behind the fret to get it to shake and quiver a little bit, okay? And the faster you do this to your finger, the faster the vibrato is going to go. Now, the way I like to imagine vibrato, I put my finger on the fret, or my fingers on the frets, because we're going to work on chords today too. I put my finger on that fret where I want it to be, and I imagine, you know, I always talk about super glue, at least in my private classes, when I'm walking around and I'm trying to get you to keep your fingers in one place, I'll go, pretend there's super glue on that finger. Don't move it. Same thing here. I'm going to pretend like my fingertip has been super glued to my fret here, okay? And I'm going to move my hand like this, okay? So my fingertip stays pretty solid. It's going to move a little bit, but I don't want to think about it doing this. I also, in this case, don't want to bend it forward and backward like this. Okay? Now, when you bend it back and forth like that, your string is actually going to move. Can you see that? And that is definitely going to change the pitch. We kind of don't want to go for that because that's a very different technique. Now, in the event that we want to imitate some sound that we're hearing and it actually does that, then yes, we'll do that to our string, okay? But that's not that, and this right here is what I'm talking about right now. So again, the definition of vibrato can go about a bazillion different directions, and if you watch violinists, it's going to be a little different than what I'm talking about. Now see, anytime you bend your string as much as I just did, it's probably going to come out of tune. All right? Just be warned. All right, so 3rd fret, middle string, we're going to glue that fingertip down in our minds. We're going to pick that string, and we're going to shake our hand back and forth, okay? Now let me see if I can get a slower vibrato so you can see. Okay, well, the wave slows down a little bit. If I go fast, that wave speeds up. Okay, all right. So let's start on that first line and let's practice each one of those separate notes on the count of 4. We're going to let them each ring 4 beats too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? It's a good thing to practice. You'll get the feel of this. It's probably just going to happen on its own for you with a lot of experimentation. You'll find the right combination. Some people are going to move their whole arm. I usually just move from my elbow down. Okay? All right. So when we're looking at the slow, thoughtful version of Cripple Creek, which by now you should know that I'm notorious for writing these slow, thoughtful versions of traditionally fast songs, what I've given us is an inverted D chord, 4 on the bass, 3, 2. We're going to strike that, and we're going to wiggle that whole chord to give it some vibrato. Okay, now listen to the difference. Here it is without vibrato. Here it is with vibrato. Okay, a little bit of a shakiness to it. So the first measure were vibrato. Okay, you can add vibrato to any note here. I've made suggestions on the ones to definitely add vibrato on. And on this 4. Okay. All right, let me play the first 2 measures. Give them a listen. Now, for a little extra work for my advanced students, I added the 3rd measure in here, which is a series of hammer-on pull-off slides. Maybe no pull-off, maybe no hammer-ons, just pull-offs. What we're going to do in that 3rd measure, we load up our 3 and our 4 at the same time, because we're going to hit the 4, pull off to exposing the 3, and then we're going to take that finger, slide him down to 2. So it's a pull off, slide. Pull off, slide. Pull off, slide. Okay? Now as soon as you slide down to that 2, you're going to reach over to the 4. 2 stays down. Then you're going to pull the 2 off. Okay? All right, and then you pull the 4 off. Like that. Here's the whole thing. Pull off, slide, 4, pull off, pull off. Okay, and the timing is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay. All right, now I know some of you have had some problems with that. Take it one little motion at a time. You got to load the 4 and the 3 together, remember. Load them at the same time, pull off exposing the 3, slide down. Notice I only picked the string once so far. I'm going to pick the 4, and that's the last time I'm going to pick in this measure. Pull off, pull off. Okay, so there at the end I had my 2 and my 4 still down. I think I was on those 2 fingers. And I pulled off, and that's exactly how you can practice making a good pull-off sound. Don't even pick your strings. Put your 2 and your 4 down. Pull off, pull off. Okay? All right, once again that measure. Pull off, slide, 4, pull off, pull off. Okay? Then the next measure, which starts on the 2nd line there. Okay, pretty simple motion there. All right, so the first 4 measures together. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. miss my string. Alright, I'm going to do it a second time. Maybe I won't miss my string this time. 3, 4. That time I pulled off from my 3 to my 2. I'm not batting 100% at all today. All right, first 4 measures for real this time. I hope you enjoy it when I struggle a little bit, because we all do, right? At every level. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Pull off, slide. Pull off, pull off. Good. Good job, Kara. Thank you. Rest. Okay. All right, the second section. Vibrato again. Now, when I've got my thumb involved, it's a little bit harder for me to add the vibrato to it. I don't know. I think it's a mindset, to tell you the truth. There's really no physical reason why that should be any harder. The second measure of the B section starts with the 4-3-2 inversion. And then we switch to the 2-3-4, and we add vibrato to it. Okay? Then we go back. Pull off. Okay? All right, let's do that second section. 3, 4. Play the whole thing for you now. From the very beginning, each section gets played twice. Each section is a 4-beat measures for 4 measures. A section 4 measures, B section 4 measures. Repeat, repeat. You know the drill. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Second section. Repeat. Okay, so when should you use vibrato? You should use vibrato whenever you feel like using vibrato. And I want it to come to you in a very natural way. I don't want you to think, okay, that note right there, I'm going to put a vibrato on when I get to it, and I got to like that. Don't get all wrapped up in your head with this. Just know that it's a technique that you can just use as you feel like you want to use it, okay? And I use it so much that I don't even realize that I'm using it. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. It's never occurred to me to teach you guys this because I don't even realize I'm doing it. Although I do it a lot. Okay? All right, very good. We got a kitty cat starting a sneezing fit in the background, so this is probably a good time to stop. I won't drag her into the picture this time because she'll only get embarrassed. All right, I hope you have fun with this. Let me know if you have any individual questions. I'm always here for you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.